Hello again everyone, it's me, Madame Macabre, and welcome to another video. So, you've already seen from the title, so you have an idea where this video is going. But I thought it would be interesting to share with you guys that recently I actually decided to attend a séance where a supposed medium was going to be trying to contact our loved ones from the other side. And I thought that would be kind of cool. It was a little bit pricey to attend, but I went with a friend and thought, hey, you know, even if it's kind of pricey and it doesn't turn out how we want it to, we had an evening out, we did something, you know, memories, whatever, you know, and if we don't like it, we won't do it again. So we decided to head on out. We got all spookied up because it was kind of a themed evening, and we got there, and I got a lot of thoughts on how all that went. And I got a lot of thoughts on this stuff in general. And I think I should start by saying where I stand in all of this. Obviously, because I do believe in ghosts, and I do believe in, you know, a spectrum, not all, but I do believe in a spectrum of paranormal entities. But as far as humans and our capabilities to interact with the paranormal, I also believe in that to a degree. So I think it's possible for sure, because I've always been very sensitive to the paranormal stuff, so it would be hypocritical as hell for me to go, nope, I don't believe anyone else can be like that. No, I do believe that it's definitely possible for people to be sensitive to this stuff, and I do think it is possible that people can indeed be mediums. However, that being said, I do not think everyone who claims to be a medium is a medium. I think there's a lot of people who either want to feel special, they want to impress their friends, or they found that they are good at reading people and can use that, and they can make money off of it, and it starts to go morally gray, if not getting towards the darker end of the spectrum, when they start using their abilities to get money from grieving people. And that's why as a general stance, I'm not so keen towards people who make their business off of being mediums and charging exorbitant prices to grieving people to contact their loved ones. Again, you know, there could be people out there who are authentic and everything, but still, like, if you are charging $100, $200, $300, $400 for a session, and you're essentially just telling people what they need to hear, like, I've heard the argument, yes, you're helping these people cope and you're helping them get closure and everything, but at the same time, when you start bleeding their wallets dry, it starts to get, it's something that I can't really condone. So if you're, I don't know, it'd have to be a case-by-case basis for me to decide how I feel about each individual and how they do their business. But as a general rule, I feel a little bit iffy about this stuff because, honestly, I feel like more mediums are fake than are real. Well, as far as this particular reading, this particular medium went, I can't make any for sure statements about whether he's authentic or not. However, I definitely didn't feel fantastic knowing that after this, it was a group seance, he was essentially using that and telling people that afterwards they can do a private reading for a more detailed thing, and these private readings are extremely expensive. And that right off the bat, that puts me on the defensive, going yikes. I mean, could still be authentic, could just be really good at what they do, but that automatically puts me on my guard, because it gets a little iffy, has to be case by case, and I haven't spent enough one-on-one time with this person to make a call, so I'm not going to make any statements on that. I'm just going to say that that's how it made me feel. Well, my friend and I, we get to where the seance is going to be held, and there's a group of other people, and it's supposed to be a thing where it's a group read where anybody who comes could have their, you know, passed on people contact them and possibly send messages. So most of the people, I'm assuming, who went there, if not all of the people, should have had someone who passed on that they're trying to contact, because otherwise why else do this seance? And there was a possibility that, you know, you might get the opportunity to speak with your passed on loved one. And, you know, it was helpful to go in with certain people in mind. And, you know, I was I was hoping perhaps I might be able to commune with my maternal grandmother, who, you know, passed away it's probably been like 8 years now, it's been a while, and that was just what was on my mind. So we get there, the seance gets started, and the opening is okay and everything, but he brings up these things that kind of make me like raise my eyebrow, because it's starting to see like, again, I'm trying not to, what he said was like him giving, it sounded to me like something to fall back on when he gets a guess wrong, so he can just say this is what it was. Essentially, he was saying that if he says something in your read and it's not accurate, that wasn't your loved one that said it. It was likely another ghost passing by that shouted it out, and he just had to say it because he has to let all ghosts speak their truth. All right, so we do the reading, you know, we start up, he does his thing, and then he's like, okay, well, there's an elderly woman here from the maternal side, a grandmother. Is it, you know, is there anyone who's missing someone like that? And like, I'm like, oh, you know, I raise my hand, and I'm like, yeah. So he starts going through it, and he gets a fair amount of stuff right, but at the same time, the stuff he's getting right is very generic, things that could apply to a lot of family things, like, oh, did they die from this? Or like, it's in the torso, it's in the torso. Yeah, a lot of organs are in the torso. Was it the lungs? No, I didn't mean the lungs, it was the heart, right? Sure. You know, starts getting things right, and like I'm reading it out, and it feels a lot like it's just, you know, a psychological reading, but there was a fair deal of stuff that was popping up right. So despite me having my concerns, like the constant battle in my mind, like this is something that sounds like it could be, but also am I just getting played? Like it got a fair amount of stuff right. And then all of a sudden he brings up this thing about how she needed to tell me, you know, about that she was sorry for all the grief that caused by having this terrible like tension with my father, because she never liked him, they always fought, and she wanted to let that go. And my grandma loved my father. They got along swimmingly. That was never ever an issue. And like my energy's like any debating I was having about possibly believing it just like deflated in a nanosecond there, and like he could immediately tell on my face that he lost me. And then he goes, oh, that must have been another spirit passing by. Oh no, her presence is leaving. I'm sensing something else come in. And that kind of frustrated me, because by this point the read hadn't been going on for very long. It could have been like 2 minutes maybe, and then suddenly the second he gets something extremely wrong, her presence is fading and someone new is coming in. Now then we move on, and this is where everyone in the seance started to get really aggravated, because this next woman took up the entire remaining hour all to herself, because everything he said miraculously related to her or her extended family. Like, she wasn't letting anybody else have a chance to try and like commune. It was literally like, oh, that could have been my best friend's neighbor. I knew somebody who did this. Yes, that's him. And she just went on and on and on and on. Just, it's like she needed to feel special or something. And she took the entire hour. Everyone paid to get in there. It was a little pricey, but everyone paid to get in there and have this experience, and she ate up an entire hour to herself. Mind you, I got 2 minutes, and suddenly my grandma's energy just got pushed away. She faded away. But this lady's got her friend's cousin's neighbor who's got enough energy to stick around for 10 minutes on a single read. Nobody else. In that entire room, which is at least a dozen people, only 3 of us got to have reads because this woman took the entire time slot. And the medium let her. And the thing is that's frustrating is I think he let her because she was the most eager in just everything he said. Even if it was wrong, she would find a way to make it fit. If it didn't fit her family member, it would fit a friend, it would fit this, it would fit that. She was just jumping through all the hoops, and I think, I don't know, so it wasn't the best experience, I'll be honest. I wasn't impressed. I don't know. Like I said, it hasn't completely destroyed my ability to think that mediums can be a thing, it just further solidified that a lot of people who do it, in fact, the majority of people who do it, are phony. I think there are a handful of people who genuinely have a gift, but the amount of people who claim, I don't think it's that common of a gift. I think there's a lot of people who are great at reading others, and they have turned it into a lucrative business, and they can charge $200 minimum for an hour-long session preying on grieving people, and it's not something I could ever see myself doing because I think it's wrong. I would be willing to give another medium a shot, but I think it would have to be a completely different format. I don't want to be in a situation where they're trying to contact our past loved ones. I would like to go to a neutral location, like an old historical, allegedly haunted location, and I would like to see a seance happen there where we are not trying to talk to our loved ones. I want to see us try and connect with something that's not biased. Nobody's got their feelings so up in it that they're desperate to make it work. I want to see what it's like in that type of environment and see if it's a different experience. If not, I'm gonna have to say not a fan. I don't know. I always want to be honest with you guys. I know I'm like the spooky aunt that's a little bit weird, but you still like hanging out with. But I can't automatically say I like every paranormal, spooky thing and wholeheartedly believe in all of it, because that wouldn't be true. I am very open-minded, and I'm way more open-minded than a lot of folks in regards to spooky things that don't have the hardcore scientific evidence. Like, I'm really open-minded, but I'll be honest with you guys when there's something that I struggle with like this. Now, if you actually believe yourself to be a medium and you've had these experiences, maybe you know something that I don't know. Maybe you are one of the actual genuine folks, and I'm not saying that you can't be. I never said that there's no such thing or no way for anyone to actually be a medium. I just personally think that the vast majority are full of it, and I'm just giving you guys from my experience so you can guard your wallets, guard your hearts, and not get preyed upon. However, I'm sure there are good ones out there, and I'm sure there are authentic ones out there, but as your spooky internet aunt, I want to protect you from those who would prey upon you just for that cold hard cash. There's other ways to connect with the other side. You don't need to pay somebody who's eager to help you when they think they're getting it right, and they dump you and move on to the next person the second that you start to second guess what they're saying and go, that's not right. And then, oh, well, another one said that. Are you sure about that? I don't know, not exactly the most cheerful tone to end on that I usually like to end on in these storytime videos, but I'm keeping it real with you guys. Have you had an actual, what you believe to be authentic experience with a medium or with a seance? Or like me, have you also had an experience where you think they were a phony baloney and it made you raise your eyebrow now at every other self-proclaimed medium because of that? Whatever your experience, please feel free to share in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, but that is all I have time for today, so I will catch you all next time, and until then, you already know, stay creepy!